it's like lava.
Right. God, that's cool. Wow.
It's a pain in the ass. They don't stand up in the dishwasher.
God, that should be the defining.
That should be like not dishwasher safe. It doesn't stand up in the dishwasher.
It's like wine glasses. What? Wine glasses are pathetic in dishwashers.
Yeah, no, all the adverts always have wine glasses, but then you have to like stick them to the actual dishwasher.
We've got massive goblets, like crystal things.
You got buckets; they don't struggle to stand up at all. You've got a bucket; it doesn't even struggle to stand up in the dishwasher.
No. Oh. Have you started in your notebook yet, or are you waiting until you finish your last 7?
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. So I want to start in it, but I like writing songs in all my notebooks, and I didn't want to crease the paper because I like go like that, and I didn't want to like do it wrong.
Do you want to know
so I'm gonna
something? I'm gonna flare up your OCD. So I had a client who's a friend of mine from university. I talked for years, got back in touch, came in for lessons, and he came to visit over half term, and I gave him one of these, and he left it lying, and my daughter got a hold of it, and she did that to the front of the book.
Oh my god, no.
How did I know that was going to set you off?
Yeah, no, well, my dad, my real dad, comes my stepdad.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
My dad.
Really? I had no idea.
My dad has OCD.
Right.
So at the weekend I live with him, and if the clothes aren't equally spaced apart, he has like a massive meltdown.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have too much fun in someone's house like that.
See,
I just get like square coasters and leave one at an angle.
Well, that's what I mean. When I want to like piss him off, that's just what I do. I just because he's a diabetic, it's also just me with all his tablets, and he just goes absolutely.
It's a bit of risk of obviously imminent death.
Yeah, he just go like absolutely.
I just bend all his insulin needles.
Rub them on sandpaper.
Oh, I really laughed in the hospital.
Well, yeah.
Are you like me with the notebooks that I have to have a specific objective for each notebook?
Yeah.
And therefore, and so I'm scared that if I start writing it with something that won't require the whole notebook, or isn't worthy of that particular notebook,
yes.
I don't want to start.
That's my thing. That's the whole worthy thing, because I have like different levels of it. This sounds really sad. I have different levels of notebooks. So I have like one that's a songwriting one, and one that doesn't matter if it gets wrecked.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've got one like your one, which has got nice proper paper in it that I'll save until I've done all the stuff in the other one, and then transfer it over.
Or you copy, No, that doesn't sound weird at all. Like that's why I have multiple notebooks. I don't have a mental system for categorising them, but essentially I've got one that I like to write notes just to get my thoughts on paper, and I'll never look at the notes again ever. So like that one there, that just a crappy thing from W.H. Smith, that's the one I use for that. This one is just so that whenever the stuff I do every day that actually I will look back over, because then whenever someone sees me they see a notebook. And then that Derwent one is especially, it's like really thick coloured stock.
Yeah, but you can't argue with someone who's studied law really, can you? I mean, you've got to have a massive level of organisation to study law and make sense of it. And
there's patent law as well.
Yeah,
so
it's just
a degree in physics.
Oh my god,
and a qualified European patent attorney. And now qualified voice coach. Just acquiring
That's
that.
quite cool.
A lot of people are like, how did that happen?
Yeah,
well, I started in bands when in my teens, and music, so whenever anyone talks about it, your dad's already kind of hit on the answer. Whenever someone talks about what they did, they always talk about their job. But you spend more time out of your job than in your job. And I spent more time doing music out than I ever did on my degree, or I ever did in on work. And it went from like bass to guitar, together, then voice muddled along. Then I realised that guitar benefited bass benefited guitar. And I kind of assumed that voice was the same. If I got better on guitar, I got better on bass, I got better on bass, I got better. Well, surely that means I can just work on guitar and bass and become a better singer. No, you become a better musician, but the voice requires more training. That's when I started getting lessons. That was like 10 years ago. Then I got about a year or so into that, I got recruited into the teacher training program. The business structure of the network has changed a few times. So I am not an IDA teacher. I am, but that's not how I view myself though, as I am a voice coach that just wants to be as good as I can be, who just happens to be within. And like I'll go with whichever network or teachers I think are most valuable to my progression. But the law aspect, so it was patents, because I loved maths and physics. I was just an absolute nerd for it. Then when I finished, I did physics, I wanted to do a job that I'm doing was super quick whistle tour, so you understand why. I wanted to do something that I'd always keep learning. So and
That's fair
patents, patents, you have to be able to understand the invention as you're reading, while simultaneously, so like you're creating in your head
Yeah.
an understanding of the invention and an understanding of how that fits into law. So like how they pitch the invention and what you could do with it, and then there's the commercial aspect of joining the two together. So you've got like obviously where a man can't multitask, but you've got to be able to keep.
Yeah, massively.
You've got to be able to keep all those things in mind, and then be able to explain it to someone in writing without hand waving. So that.
Hand waving.
But I'm very open about this. But I went through 2-3 years of severe depression as a result of the work. My boss became part owner. He changed because then he couldn't be fired from that firm, and I essentially had no other, at least I could see, monetizable skills that wouldn't just end me up in another corporate hellhole. So I did this very much as a kind of I've got nothing else.
Yeah.
And then
The Joey Tribbiani school of.
but it just ended. It wasn't a begrudging. Oh, I'll do that. It's like, well, I'm enjoying it. So I was teaching part time. And I'd had a huge response just on like the very basic level I was at when I started. And now it's this. But it's just like, if you love something and you find it interesting, just keep going down that route. Don't be afraid to change your mind is the advice I normally give people. But you've got to know, and I think that based on your level of obsession or whatever you turn your mind to, it's very similar to kind of the obsessive nature that I have. Like, I don't have to give the caveat of you've actually got to be good at what you do. Because just as long as you keep focusing, whatever you follow what you're interested in, even if you don't earn a lot at the start, if you're that obsessive and you're not an obsessive, it just kind of you get to a plateau and then stop. It'll always turn into something valuable because you make yourself more valuable. But that's kind of the
No, that's really interesting. I mean, I kind of that mirrors my philosophy almost exactly. I mean, I did 5 academic A levels, then did an art foundation course. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I needed to kind of have a.
You got offered to Oxford.
Well, yeah, I could have gone to Oxford, but I decided I really didn't want to do that.
sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, I was. I mean, the subjects that I did, I only had to look at them once.
Yeah.
You know, I had photographic memory for certain subjects.
I'd love that.
Geography and economics being, you know, I only ever had to hear it once.
Yeah.
Not true. I mean, I did physics weirdly enough and maths, but that was not the case. But you know, I've been around bad swings but you know, music has always been my main. It's the constant through everything from about the age of 16, 17 is what I love doing.
Yeah.
But it's like teaching. I mean, I've ended up with 3 guitar pupils. I never really wanted them. but the way I teach, and they actually get somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, they come to one lesson, and they go away being able to play a song.
Yeah.
And that fires them up, and then from there it's easy. You know, it's not all technique. I mean, technique's important.
Massively.
It's got to glue it together, and that's the thing that I found with most voice coaches. So bringing it back to voice stuff was the network I'm in was very much technique first, and like they're in the very first incarnation that it was. So it was run by Seth Riggs, who is Michael Jackson's big star. He understood style, but his actual singing voice is not that great. Like, he has a very great technical ability, but the ability to sing, because that's what he was hired for. But his protege, Greg, who I take lessons with, he's huge on style, like huge, but also huge on technique. It's like the two go hand in hand. But it's very rare to find someone that does 50-50. You'll either find one person who's hammers technique to the nth degree, and then never really shows you how to apply that to song and technique and style, or you get someone who's so big on style but they improve your styled voice, but they never actually improve like they don't give you extra range. You'll still sound cool, but you won't actually. You'll improve in terms of the songs you're singing, but your voice will just be a polished version of what it was. It won't be something. It won't be progressing in that way. I try and do both, but inevitably at the start it does require a lot of it, because essentially you're trying to build a strong foundation that you can then start to style. So it's like think of a building that keeps having layers added to it. We obviously want people to be able to live in the building as we go.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like spending years building a skyscraper that people don't like. I've been waiting 20 years to live in. Otherwise, what's the point of building it? But equally so, you don't want to build level 1 and then ram it full of people. It's like, well, now we can't.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Yeah, so it's like that's it. I want it to be the two work together, and ultimately you should be able to forget, in terms of a mental sense, an intellectual sense, everything that I say when you sing. I don't want you go thinking, oh, Mark said to do this. No, if you're doing that, I've failed as a teacher. It's about creating muscle memory. It's about making it so instinctive that. But when you're on stage, it's too late to worry about technique. It's just too late. Flat out. You've just got to do it. That's what the hard work was. Like when football players are on the pitch, they're not worried about perfect technique. It's too late to worry about technique. Like perfect technique is important, good technique, but the result is more important. You don't see them going right above slide tackle like that. No, that's why they train, so they can forget. But we'll get arse about it. Anyway, did you have any questions?
No, not at all.
How have you found things in the last 2 weeks?
Yes, very good. Yeah, very good.
Great. Fab, let's keep on then.
I love your coasters, by the way.
Thank you. I think my wife bought them for me. I don't remember. I don't remember from where. I know I've been led not on the highstreet.com.
Oh, I love that.
Or John Lewis. One or the other. Fab, let's get you warmed up. Fingers and cheeks. Very nice. it's not actually the lips that's controlling it. It's the vocal tract. It's the shape of that tube there. But it's kind of psychosomatic. If the lips are doing that, the tract follows. So there's times when you do that, and then you can let the lips widen, and that gets more of that mouthy sound, but without deviating from the kind of the coordination that we're looking for there. In short, keep doing what you're doing.
No, I find that theory really interesting.
Good. Great. Some people lap it up. Some people they just like to know there is a reason. And then
No, I do. No, I find it really interesting. I like to know what happens.
Great. Keep doing it. Super tight. Great. Give me. Woo into whoa. Same here. Now just a whoa. 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 So your lips need to be a little bit more parted than that. That's the whoa. I know you're kind of flitting in and out between that's the fact you're noticing is enough. I can see your face going, no, that's right. That's all I need. It's not about it being perfect then and there. It's about because if you can spot it and regulate it, obviously it's always easy to hear from outside, but you still have to go through it from inside to some extent. Whoa. Ruby, can you give me? Worry about the word, not the pitch. That's it. That's fine. Worry about the word. I know you're almost there, but I don't want you to suddenly get heavier or lighter. I just want you to say the word. If you say the word, it will find the right spot. So say the word. Much better. One more time. Good, same here. Say the word a little bit more clearly. That's it. Can you bring the volume up just a touch? Just a touch, just a touch. Say that. No. Wee. Each one needs to be its own wee. No, it's fine. No, you're doing great. That's what it is. You did it right. It's just going to feel a little bit odd.
It sounds like you're saying it, like, do you know what I mean? When you say it too, you know when you repeat a word too many times?
Loses meaning.
And it goes like, you're like, what? And then,
What I'm actually saying. No, that was right. Do it again.
yeah, is that right?
Yeah, it was great. Do it again.
Okay.
Say it again. The more clearly you can say the word, the easier this will be.
Okay.
That's right. Can you give it, increase the volume a little bit just on the top ones? Just a little. Again. Yeah, that's it. And now forget everything I just said. You're fine. No, you did great.
That's the hardest one ever. I'm like, no. That's my enemy, and I'm gonna.
You're doing a great job. You really are. I can tell how much you've been working on it in the last 2 weeks. When your lip bubble alone was like, that's different. That's completely different.
I try.
Do it again. I only want it if you can make each one a clear word. I always think the Bruce Almighty thing. You seen that one?
Yeah.
You go, yeah. Up on the top note, I need you to still keep it on the top. We, don't lose the word. So keep that intensity even on the top. That doesn't mean firing out, it just means keeping it the same. That's the weird thing, is a lot of people, it's like, you're asking me to do more things. No, I'm actually asking you to do less things. I'm asking for everything to be exactly the same. That's it. Alright, can you give me? Keep that intensity. You were just doing it on a. That's it. And again. We. Feel the difference that makes? Do you mean we? Those additional ones are to help you dig deeper in chest voice on those bottom ones. It's fine to say even more. I know it's right at the bottom of your range.
Like me.
I know it's entirely my fault for placing it there.
Yes, that.
Try one more time. Thanks, you're too kind.
I know. I try.
Yeah, to be honest, I still go, that needs to be better.
But you're not going there. No, I'm great.
Well, I don't have to sing there, so I'm alright. Sorry. Keep that intensity. It's the first one. It's right much better. You're doing a really great job.
Okay.
Try it. Make sure each one's a separate word. That literally is the only thing keeping you from that. That's it. Can you do the same thing here? That's it. That's it. The thing is that your first bridge ends there. We're exiting your first bridge. It's going to feel quite different. So I'm not. You won't be able to give me perfection there just yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're doing it there.
Okay.
Not that we ever really achieve perfection.
No, I know.
But like that start, your first bridge is starting to settle down. It's just to make you realise the difference between there and there. Completely different. Completely different. Okay, you're doing a great job. Can you do that one more time? difference? Are you feeling better?
Yeah.
Better from where it was 2 weeks?
Definitely.
Not that it was in a bad place at all, but that's definitely a big step up from where you were.
I feel a lot more comfortable when doing it. Because it's funny, isn't it? Because I look when I'm at school and stuff and we're doing our exercises in music. I haven't told you this, but we like occasionally each one, because we do like different singing exercises. And we have to like lead the exercises, and I was like, oh well, we may as well do that one, might we? So I did the go and the goo and stuff.
Yeah.
They all liked it and they were like, oh, this is really cool. I was like, I know. Yes.
Yeah, I just love the way it works. But there's only 6 main scales that we use. There's other ones, but they're almost all variations thereof. So we've got the 5-tone. We use that for assessment and for advanced work. Assessment, establishing chest, and then again at advanced level for various, because it's a very difficult skill to use. It just exacerbates whatever areas of the voice it's in. So it's great for assessing the voice because it trips them up. It's good for building chest or building whichever area of the voice you put in, because it exacerbates whatever area you're in. But once you've done that, it's like very, very difficult for everyone up to kind of, for anyone up, but it's more appropriate to use it for more advanced singers to work on small areas in the voice. Then we got the octave repeat. We have the octave repeat with sustain. We have the long scale, the 1.5. We've got the octave back and forth. Yeah, so it's that run and that one is exactly the same notes, just in different order and repetitions. But this one's for building tone because it keeps you in a particular area of voice and helps you establish what's going on.
That's probably the one that helps me most, probably.
Yeah, this one's it's not that you wouldn't use it with a beginner, but like it's a beginner who's reaching kind of the beginning or moving towards an intermediate stage, because it requires more agility. It promotes agility and flexibility in the voice. It's harder in the sense that you're jumping around in your voice. It's easier in the sense that you're not repeating anything, so you're not having to build any weight in anywhere. Then we've got the what's the word I'm looking for? Octave down. I generally prefer, because that way it's easier for people to understand because it's only a step away from, but it also starts to build in tone as you go. So at the start, you use that when you're trying to lighten the top of someone's voice up. I'm not a big fan of that one personally. I do use it, but it's just not my preferred one. Yeah, this has 90% the same benefit and some other benefits. So it's not the same set of benefits, but it's very similar. And then it also means that with people who maybe struggle with pitching, or it's a lot of things that, even though there's only 6, it's a lot to take in. To go from to, so it's much, we're just adding 3 notes to it, rather than to be quite a lot. That's good. Did you have any questions?
No. Not
Great.
at all.
Let's keep going. Can you give me? Just get back into it. Same here. Keep that intensity at the top. One more time. Close enough. You know, not me. Right. Try and keep the tempo the same. You're trying to speed up when you get to the top and do the same.
Sorry.
No, only just, but there is a reason I'm picking you up on that, and it's nothing to do
No,
with.
probably you did.
It's not a correctness thing. There's times when people speed up and slow down, but when you're speeding up, it's showing that you're trying to rush away from it. As in, not you mentally, physically, there's a bit of tension there. Slowing it down forces you to notice where it's slightly off, rather than letting it slip by. So I'm not looking for it to be slow or for you to slow down as you get there. I just want it the same speed. Yeah. That's it. Same here. One more time. Same here. So don't think of it as high, because I know that's what you're doing there. right down here.
Me.
Not me.
Me.
Same here. Right. Drop a little bit more on the top one.
Me. Sorry.
That's right. Right again. Same here. Like starting light. You went. Me. No. You mean me. What's the word?
Me.
Right, make sure it says me. Right, how's that feeling? Fab. Can you give me? Mum. No, here. Mum. Mum, M-U-M, mum. Bring the volume up just a touch. Can you give me mum? Bring the volume up. One more time. Feel the difference?
Massively. It just was really airy and spacious. I think you
Good.
can
Great. This is quite low. Bring the volume up a touch. And up again. Feel the difference? So it's not that, I mean, it's right at the bottom of your current, like, because you're only 14, you're only starting to go through puberty, your voice will get heavier, it doesn't break like in a guy's voice, but the vocal cords will thicken and you will gain some low end to your voice. Like you can already hear that you speak lower than, say, the average 14-year-old girl. Like, it's not the heaviest thing. Like, I've got a student who was meant to be in last week, so that they were sick. Her voice, she's 2 years younger than you, and speaks lower than you.
Really?
Yeah, and then I've got girls who are like 18 who speak all the way up here, you know. It's just,
Yeah, I have friends who are like.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, some of that can be cultural, because like, oh, all girls speak up here.
Yeah, I know.
Unless they listen to like Isla Fisher, and they're like, oh my god,
I know.
it's all vocal fry. Oh my gosh.
All the American YouTubers annoy me. I can't watch
Yeah.
them longer than like 20 minutes because it's just.
I can't watch them for longer than 0 minutes. It's just a fault. One of my many faults. Many, few, one.
One fault.
Yeah, it's my one
And you
fault.
have one.
Yeah, I only have one. You ask my wife, she'll
You're
tell you.
faultless.
I only have
I'm
one
sure she
fault.
would say
I don't know it's that one that she's thinking of. I'm pretty sure she has 100 lists of faults. But what we're doing there is just establishing your chest voice just a little bit more. It's tough right at the bottom there, but that's the thing that's allowing us to use that tool more effectively. This one's just a little bit too short, but as soon as we get to the long one, actually we're hitting the button we were in before.